just to brief the nation.
Thank you so much, Steve. Truly appreciate the opportunity. Let me start by thanking the school leadership for welcoming us here. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate that. The district. Thank you so much, District Director. We really appreciate the environment and the hospitality. I thought I was at the university campus when I was here. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate that. The leadership of the department, led by our HOD. Thank you so much, HOD, and the team that is here. Thanks, Steve. As we've indicated, Steve, we started the online placement almost 7 years ago or so. And we tried to improve the system literally every year so that we can be in a position to allocate proper spaces within our schooling environment, especially for grade 1 and grade 2. I just want to start by clarifying the purpose so that everyone can be aware why we've taken this particular route, because I think many people feel that we've taken this route for purpose of frustrating them, for purpose of placing them with an unacceptable level of anxiety, and many other things. We come from an era where our schooling system was divided into two parts, those that are privileged and those that are not privileged. With the opening of the 1994 breakthrough, with so many people that were trying to make application in what we used to say are former Model C schools. In doing so, many people were encountering many challenges. One, the application forms could not be accounted to. Two, your surname can be used as a tool to eliminate you. Three, even before you enter the school premises, you are told the school is full. 4, there was no accountability, which simply means even if we have deposited your application, there was no accountability whether your application has been successful or not. You will rely at the mercy of the school to say it was successful or not. Lastly, which created serious problems. There are some schools that will have open days without advertising those open days. And if you miss to attend that open day, you could not be in a position to attend that school. And others use their own creative way of requesting people to pay upfront either application fees or non-refundable amounts of money before you can even be given an application form. So our online registration is just an e-queuing system. Instead of queuing at one school, you are allowed to queue at 5 schools at the same time. With human capacity, you can't queue at 5 schools at the same time. So if you queue at one school and that school is full, you have lost throughout. But with online registration, you can queue at 5 schools at the same time. Your forms will be accounted for, your application will be accounted for, and we can be in a position to trace each and every application. So we've managed to conclude that process, and we are quite excited that last year alone we received 764,000 applications. It's a massive record. And for us to manage almost 764,000 applications, it indicates that we've grown as a department in terms of the capacity to manage this system. But secondly, it means that we've got the necessary skills within the department to manage these numbers. Out of that 764,000, almost 330,000 were for grade 1. To us, it's a huge vote of confidence. If we have to fix the education system, grade R, grade 1 is the beginning. If we can attract almost 330,000 applications within the public education space, it's very important, within the public education space, is an indication that there's a vote of confidence of public education, where young parents, young families trust the public education system with their children. Because if you check the age of parents now who are taking their children to grade 1, these are young professionals. These are young people that have just got jobs. These are young people that prefer the education system of Gauteng. So to us, it's a massive, massive, massive vote of confidence that young, dynamic professionals believe public education is far above the private education in our country. We also received 457,000 applications for grade 8. Another vote of confidence of public higher education system in our province. And to receive almost 500,000 applications for grade 8. It's a massive investment in our education system and an assurance to our educators that they're doing well, but most importantly, the desire to improve our infrastructure investment. This 500,000 grade 8 is also a vote of confidence that we are breaking the barriers of quality education across all spectrum of our society. A vote of confidence of our infrastructure investment. We've been opening new schools literally in areas where you don't expect the beautiful schools that we are building. So parents are now coming back to enroll their children in our beautiful schools. And this 500,000 also is an investment in our infrastructure portfolio. But it also means we're starting to get the problem that we're struggling with developers right. Because developers will just develop a new a human settlement. There's no school, there's no clinic, no transport. But with these numbers, it indicates that we are starting to speak the same language, and we are trying to ensure that everyone can have a school closer to where they stay. So from the above applications, we have a total of 332,000 applications for grade 1 and 157,000 applications for grade 8. So tomorrow we are releasing what you call happy SMSs. Happy SMS means, as a parent, you are going to get an SMS that says, amongst the 764,000 people that have applied for spaces in our schools, you were fortunate that your child has been placed. So tomorrow we are releasing those SMSs to all parents. And remember, we are releasing these SMSs until the end of November, until the 30th of November. So if you didn't get the SMS tomorrow or on Tuesday or on Wednesday, don't panic. We are releasing them in batches, and we are also releasing them literally every day until we have managed to conclude this process. So all parents will get the SMSs. We are starting with those that have been placed. We are also starting with those that we feel they meet the criteria. You will see I'll go through the criteria so that even when parents receive these SMSs, they must know the criteria that we have followed. The SMSs will be sent to the cell number or mobile number that you used when you're making an application. But if you have lost that number, you can still go to our website, gdeadmissions.gov.za, using your credentials, your login details. You will then be in a position to know whether your child has been placed or not. You know our website is www.gdeadmissions.gov.za. If also you have lost your credentials, because there are many people that forget their own passwords. I've made a joke about how to create a password. I don't want to go back there. But if you have lost your password, you go to the same website and you click on forgot password link, and then you follow the prompt. You'll be in a position to then reset your password, and you can check whether your child has been placed or not. I want to emphasize this point. If parents and guardians have not received an SMS, please don't panic. We are releasing the first set of SMSs tomorrow, but the last SMS will be issued on the 30th of November. So don't panic that you want to buy school uniform for your child for the following academic year, or you want to buy stationery. We'll be in a position to provide that information before the 30th of November, and on the basis of that, you will know whether your child has been placed or not. This time, we want to urge parents, because the application came from you, it's you who applied. When you get an SMS that your child has been placed at school X, there is no need for you to go back to the website to click accept. No. Because you made an application, if you get an SMS, your child has been placed automatically. You don't have to do anything. You just have to know the name of the school where your child has been placed. That's the only thing, and that's the major improvement that we've put in the system. Because previously, we were waiting for parents to accept, and some of them were not accepting, and some of them, either they've forgotten the school they've applied, they are surprised with the name of a school. So it created administrative nightmare for us, because we have to wait for parents to accept first before we can release the next batch. And waiting period used to drag. So we don't want to be caught in that problem again. So when we send an SMS to you, it's a confirmation. Pelile. Mntwana kuya kule skolo leso. Akasayi kwesinye isikolo. Angithi uapply apply. So le gama lesikolo leso apply lesukunikeza lona. You just accept and you'll prepare your child to go to that school immediately. We've indicated that this is an electronic queuing system, and therefore there are various things that you might need that you've forgotten, various information that you may need from us. So I want to share the following details with you. If you want to make any inquiry, we are going to use our call center number 0800 000 789. That's 0800 000 789 for all the inquiries on placements and where your child is placed, or if you have not received an SMS, you want to know whether you are still going to receive an SMS. That is the number that needs to be called. I'm emphasizing this. The number is 0800 000 789. It's not Steve Mabona's number. It's a call center number. 0800 000 789. If you want to use a WhatsApp, we've also introduced the WhatsApp number 060 891 0361. 060 891 0361. That's our WhatsApp number. If you feel the call center is delaying you, you can just WhatsApp us and the team will be in a position to respond. From tomorrow, we expect high volumes of calls and WhatsApp, and we are calling on parents to be patient as we deal with this high number of calls. What is the criteria that we've used this time to place learners? There are schools that receive high volumes of applications. I'll give you the top 10 of those schools. So one way or another, we must find a mechanism on how we select learners. Because if a school can only accommodate 180 learners and you get 3,000 applications, there's no way that you can use a criteria. Because from 3,000 applications to select 180 is a difficult task. So this is the criteria that we are using. The first one, because we want to encourage people to learn closer to where they stay. So the first key criteria is home address. If you stay closer to the school, the better. It saves us a lot of troubles of transporting learners. It saves us a lot of challenges if we need the parents to come to the school to attend parents' meeting. It ensures that our children participate in sporting activities because they don't have to arrive in the morning. After school, they have to leave. So the first criteria that we want to firm up is what we call home address within the school feeder zone. The second one, if we have a sibling in that particular school, we'll also prioritize you so that parents don't have to drop a child in one school, drive again, and drop another child in another school, drive again, drop another child in another school. So we use siblings. And I know it's very difficult in South Africa to use siblings. Mina mntwana kamalume, mntwana karagadi, cousin yami, different surnames, different things. It's creating problems for us, but we are going to use siblings. And this information you provided us. So we are not thumbsucking the information. You said, we've got a sibling in this school, the name of the sibling is XYZ, and we are using that information. The third criteria is work address. It's better to have a child closer to where the parent works, so that the parent can drop the child on their way to school, to work, and then they can pick up the child after work. So we're using that particular aspect. But in the interest of advancing access, transformation, building social cohesion, building strong non-racialism in our schools, we are also using what we call the 30-kilometer radius, so that a child in Soweto must not be stuck with schools in Soweto. If they want to go and study in Sandton, they must be allowed to study in Sandton. A child in Tembisa, if they want to study in Benoni, they must be allowed to go to Benoni. If the parents can afford, and if the parents believe it's the best school, we'll allow that, including the home address that is within the 30-kilometer radius. So that's the criteria that we've used to place learners. But as I said, you might meet this criteria and a child might not be placed on the basis that we've identified 275 high-pressure high schools, primary schools. 275 primary schools that received what I always term abnormal applications. Abnormal applications means they've got they can only take 180 learners. They've received more than 2,000 applications. So you might meet the criteria but still not be placed. But there will be no child that will not get a school if the parents have applied. That is why we are asking for 5 schools. So that if you can't get placement at your first school of choice, we can then check number 2, we can check number 3, number 4, number 5. So we've got 275 schools that receive abnormal applications in terms of primary schools, and 221 schools receive abnormal applications in terms of secondary schools. So these are the schools that, and I've seen parents, if your child get admitted in this school, parents sometimes convene placement parties. So they even pop the champagne just to celebrate that their child got placement. What are the top 10 schools with high enrollment in the area that we're in here? in Tshwane. The school with abnormal high enrollment, that is number one, is Laer School Acacia. And you'll understand where Laer School Acacia is. That there's new development there, and we have not moved well as a department to build new schools. So the school can only take 255 learners, but we've received 1,538 applications. So more than 1,200 parents will not find placement there. So the school can only take 255 learners, but the school received 1,538 applications. So 1,200 people that have applied will not be placed in that school. And I know parents will say, why not my child? And I always ask, whose child must I take out to allow your child to be in that school? So it's a huge number. The second school is in Pretoria North, Laer School Teresa Park. They can only accommodate 210 learners. They've received 1,172 applications. So almost 1,000 learners will not be placed in Teresa Park. The second school in Pretoria North is Laer School Rachel de Beer. They've got the capacity to accommodate 211 learners. They've received 1,138 applications. They are followed by a school in Germiston, Palm Ridge Primary School. The capacity is 182. They can only take 1,072. Another school is in Boksburg, Lakeside Primary School. They can only accept 160. They've received 957. Alston Primary School in Germiston. They've got 200 capacity. They can only take 951. The Alberton area is one area where we need to build more schools, because Stonebridge Primary School, Opelweg Primary School, Alba View Primary Schools, they are under extreme pressure. So we will explain what we've done as a department to alleviate this pressure. The most sought after school in our province is Hoërskool Langenhoven, here in Pretoria North. That's the most sought after high school. They can only take 300, but they received 2,600 applications. So almost 2,300 parents will not get placement in that school. I mean, 2,300 is 2 new schools. It's 2 new schools. So it means around that area, we need to build 2 new schools as a department. So that's our most sought after school in our province. The second one, as I've indicated, the Alberton area, we have a problem there. It's Alberton High School. And Alberton High School has the capacity to take 210 learners. They received 2,488. So more than 2,000 parents, their children are not going to be accepted in Alberton High. That area as well, we need to build new schools because of the new development that is taking place in that area. When you go to Central Johannesburg, Parktown Boys High is the most sought after school. And they can only take 152 learners. But check how many applications they've received. With the capacity of 152, they've received 2,328 applications. 2,328 applications. Almost 2,100 parents that wants to take their children there unfortunately, will not be in a position to take their children there. But this online applications is assisting us to plan. That is why we are truly in love with the online application. So we know where parents want to take their children. So we're no longer going to build school for sake of building them. We'll build them where they are needed, in communities where they're needed. If you go to the south, Johannesburg South, the most sought after school there, it's John Adamson. They can only take 450 learners. They receive 2,152. The most sought after township school is in Germiston, Pumlani Secondary School, in the township. They can only take 200 learners. We've got 2,228,000 applications that we've received in that particular area. I can tell you one of the reasons there is a language policy. You might find that school has taken 3 or 4 popular languages, and that is why people want to go to that particular school. When we come back to the Kissington area, GP High School for boys. GP High School for boys, they can take 220 learners. They've received 1,952 applications. So almost 1,700 parents, their children will not be placed at GP High School for boys. So what have we done as a department with this kind of pressures? There are 2 things. It takes long to build a new school, but it's easier and quicker to expand or add additional classrooms in existing schools. So we've identified 599 additional classrooms. We've given money to the SGBs. When online application started, we already knew where the numbers are. So the HOD has met with all the principals and the SGBs of these schools. We have given them money. They've started building additional classrooms inside those school premises. So in terms of primary schools, it's 599 additional classrooms. If we multiply that by 35 learners, it gives an idea how many learners will be accommodated. In terms of high schools, we've added 698 new classrooms, where schools are building on their own. It's faster, it's quicker, and it's safe. And it assists us to minimize the challenges that we are facing in terms of overcrowding. Sorry. Once more, I want to summarize. Placement of learners will start tomorrow when we release SMSs. We want parents to know that the offer we gave you is the offer that you will get. And if we have not received an SMS, you can go on our website, and our website will indicate whether you received the SMS or not. We also encourage parents to call our toll-free number 0800 789 0800 000 789 if they need assistance, or they can visit our district offices. Please don't visit schools. Schools are closed. Schools are closed. So don't visit our schools. Don't go to our schools. Just call center, WhatsApp number, our website will be in a position to assist you. If you need a personal touch, you can go to our district office, and our district office will be in a position to assist you. The reason why we are in love with the online registration as well is that it has an objection and appeal process. Unlike when you queue at the school and you are told the school is full, you can't appeal. You are told the school is full, so leave. So with the online registration, the parent has the right to appeal. So you can object if you have placed your child at the school you don't want, but remember, we didn't thumbsuck the school, you applied for that school. And if we say we can't accommodate your child, you can then appeal to the HOD. If you're not happy with the HOD, you can appeal to me and say, I don't take your reasons why you didn't take my child. We will be in a position to review your appeal and will attend to it. Remember, the process of getting the SMS will only go to those parents that have given us their valid proof of address. If you have not given us your valid proof of address, we don't know where you stay, so you can't place your child. It's only those that have uploaded their proof of address or taken their proof of address to their schools that will be in a position to provide that information. And those that have missed the boat, which simply means when we closed the online registration, either they were staying in another province, or they didn't apply, or they were going through some personal challenges. The late registration is the 1st of December to the 15th of December. But remember, we are only going to do that and open that to the schools that still have spaces, that have spaces. But if they don't, we'll not be in a position to provide that. So we'll be in a position to assist you. Steve is screaming at me, so he'll clarify that point. We've also attached the list of all our district offices, so that parents must know where our offices are placed. And this information is also available on our website, and we'll be in a position to assist parents. But let me emphasize this point. As of tomorrow, if you have joined us late, we are releasing the placement SMSs to all parents that applied on time using our online registration for grade 1 and grade 8. We received 764,000 applications. Of that, 330,000 are for grade 1 and 457 are for grade 8. And we will release the SMSs tomorrow until the 30th of November. So even if you didn't get the SMS tomorrow, don't panic. We are releasing these SMSs in batches, and the last day of releasing those SMSs is the 30th of November. After the 30th of November, if you have not received an SMS, that's when you can be in a position to contact us, and contact us through our website. Secondly, contact us through our district office or through our WhatsApp number or our call center number. Thank you so much. Thanks for your attention, Steve. You can come to, if you want to take questions, we'll be ready. Thanks.
Thank you very much, MEC. We will now take the questions from the media. Let's move that side. Can we move mics that side? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, please. Okay. You are 1, that's helpful. Ahmed 2. Only 2. Okay, you are 3. For group 4, only 5. So you must remember your numbers. Yes. Present.
I just wanted to find out, MEC, the high numbers. Let's talk about the schools that we've been having this conversation. You speak specifically about Alberton. There was tear gas and stuff like that. What are the actual plans in place, specifically speaking to the Alberton area, as well as Tshwane North, I think, is it called that, Acacia and Teresa Park and so forth, because it's also quite problematic. We saw similar issues that took place there about just before COVID as well. And I also wanted to find out, second question, in terms of the way the system works. So if I were a parent, okay, I'll give you an example. If I was a parent and I wanted to apply to Northcliffe High, let's use Northcliffe High, and I live 3 kilometers away from the school, given because there are other parents as well, and now the school is full, what is going to happen to me as how does the system work like that when there's 3 other schools, but I don't make the criteria in terms of my nearest school? Where do you take me? Do you still take me within the zone? Do you take me 20 kilometers away? How is the system designed for parents that have those type of queries? Thank you.
Thanks.
Morning, MEC. It's Ahmed Kaji from Newsroom Africa. Just the first question is regarding the formal proof of address. How does this then work for learners living in informal settlements? And then the second one, just a point of clarity, when parents receive acceptance offers, does this mean they shouldn't go onto the website to accept? Just clarity on that. Thanks very much.
I didn't get the second part. Give the second part.
Good day, MEC and the department. I'm Mariska from The Citizen. I just want to know, are we ready for the matric results this year? Are we geared up and ready for that?
Good morning, Queen Zile from SABC Radio. MEC, I see we haven't touched on the issue of grade R's. I mean, most of these schools still have grade R's. We've got parents who took their kids in preparation for grade 1, and they are not guaranteed that they will be accepted at that school. How are you planning to address that? I mean, parents have bought, school uniform in preparation for their kids to go to that particular school. So I want to understand the logic regarding that as to why do they still not be placed at the school whereas they were prepared there? And as well as on the issue of Pretoria North, we know that there's pressure there. Why is it taking you so long to address those issues in those schools in that area? Thank you.
You said parents are given 5 options. Does this mean that the department will be only working with the 5 options, or will is there a possibility of parents being placed outside the options? Especially because previously parents raised concerns that the department placed learners outside their preferred options and there were financial burdens that they had to incur. In terms of the appeal process, what does that entail and how long does it take?
Okay, thanks. Let me see. The HOD said we will take the second question.
No, there's a Kaji question. Kaji asked a second question, we did not pick it up.
Okay. Ahmed, can you give us the second question?
Second question was just a point of clarity, please. When a parent receives a confirmation SMS, do they need to go onto the website or do they not?
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much. Let me start with Matlak. Matlak, you are right. The Alberton area and the Acacia area, I must be honest, those are 2 areas that are giving us serious challenges. And it's nothing else but internal government planning. And sometimes you can also blame the relevant government departments. Let me give you an example. There is a new development called Dentlome in the West End. It's massive. But when it was approved, we kick-started our own processes of planning as government. But you approve a development and the development does not start immediately. What they do, they're waiting for investors. They're waiting for financial institutions to approve. By the time they approve, we've already moved on because we can't hold the budget and not build when we need to build the school because the developer has not received funding. So it's those kind of things. By the time the developers receive funding, you find that we have not budgeted for that particular school in that particular area. That's one thing. But secondly, there's a mushrooming of informal settlement literally everywhere. And those that are building informal settlement, nowadays they are strategic. They're building them closer to some of the schools and suburbs. You go to here in Tshwane, next to the tunnel there, there is a school just over, informal settlement over that particular school. So we are trying to satisfy all those things. But we are going to build a new school there. The HODs met with the principals. We are adding additional classes as an interim measure. We are also putting the mobile classrooms as an interim measure. But the key thing there is to build, is to build a new school. And we think that now that it's in our plans, it will assist us to alleviate that pressure. Well, the Northcliffe example is a typical example that majority of parents are facing. I think it relates to the same question Humulimo raised it as well. If we want to take your child to Northcliffe High, it's full. Where do we take you? We have to take you to the nearest school to Northcliffe High. If that school is also full, where do we take you? We have to look at another school that is closer to you until we find a school to you. It's a debate that those that are opposed to our thinking are forgetting. And I'm glad that you are raising that. You know, with the current Bella bill in Parliament, where the DA, the Western Cape, are saying the decision to place a child must lie with the SGB. If the SGB of Northcliffe High says we are full, where must the parent go? Must come to the HOD. To say, HOD, I applied there, but the school says it's full. Can you find a placement for me? And that's our argument, that if the school is full, that responsibility must now lie with the HOD. And if the parent is not happy with what the HOD or where the HOD is placing their child, they have the right to appeal to the MEC. That's what we are arguing. But obviously, those that feel that we are taking the powers of the SGB feel that is the SGB must decide, and if it says full, they don't have a helicopter view of other schools that might not be full. But the HOD has that helicopter view of other schools that might have a placement. That is why we really believe that the HOD still needs to play that particular role. Ahmed, I think the proof of registration, you'll be shocked and be surprised. In the informal settlement, we don't have a problem. They comply. We don't have a problem there. Either the councillor writes them a letter, or they use the nearest building that has an address. For example, if you live in an informal settlement, there is a spa next to it. You can use the address of the spa as your home address. And then we'll know that you stay around that area. So we don't have a problem. We have a problem with people that have physical address. But what they do, they go to an uncle or a brother that stays somewhere and say, borrow me your home address. And if you borrow them their home address, they don't know we've got internal databases that we utilize. You can't have a home address in Alberton on the day of application, but your home address in terms of your bank statement is in Tembisa. It does not make sense. Because we've got access to other databases that use your address. So we can see if you are trying to forge an address. But also some schools are very creative. They do their own spot checks. They go to the address that you've given and say, do you have a child of this with this name? And you find the poor grainy or domestic worker says, no, there's no person. I'm the domestic worker. I know all the children here. So we have a way of proving. It's just that people try to cheat the system, and we are picking up all those things. The HOD will deal with the confirmation, but we say when we give you a confirmation SMS, there's no need for you to go to our website or to do any other thing. When you receive the because you applied, we are giving you the school that you said you want to take your child there. So we agree with you, we are taking your child there. So there's no need for you to do any other thing. Pumzile, grade R use different admission criteria, and not every parent can take their child to a grade R center. Take for an example, your child grade R is Acacia Lair School, but there's another grade R center outside the school, or a crash outside the school. So there must be disadvantage because you are inside there, they are outside. The same children. These are same children. So if you have a crash outside, or 4 crashes outside, and we have an ECD center inside the school, what rule compels you to say those that are inside the school must be automatic and those that are outside the school must? Fairness will mean let's all queue and apply. Fairness will mean that. Let's all queue and apply. But also, what about the parent that does not afford to take their children to education started grade 1? So those that can't afford grade R, they must be excluded in the education system. Because those that can afford can place their child above them and then get automatic space. So the system say, let's queue at the same time, all of us. And if you queue at the same time, all of us, and indeed your child is already at Acacia, it will be a plus. We'll take that into consideration. That's our argument. But to say, because I'm here first, no one else, I don't think that is proper. I really don't think it's proper. It's discriminatory. It excludes other people. And what do you mean? People will cherry pick the ECDs that they want in terms of grade 1 and take their children there. You find that they don't qualify in terms of distance, they don't qualify in terms of sibling, so they will cheat the system. So when we say grade R learners will queue at the same time, all of them, we believe that's the fairness that we can practice within the system. Yes, we are ready for grade 12s. We've got the highest number of matriculants that have registered this year. We are taking all our children this school holidays to various camps. So they're already there, but our schools are ready. By the time they come back, we think they will be ready to write matric. But we are ready. We'll have a proper briefing. They're starting on the 31st of October. We still have a month or so to conclude that process. I think 28 days, Steve, or so, to conclude that process. HOD?
Wait, clarify that we're not doing application. We're not opening on the first. Okay. So only go to apply.
Yeah. Thank you very much. There is a, I think, a question by Kaji in respect of the proof of SMS website and so on. Let's clarify. Firstly, at a point or from tomorrow, the 3rd, through to November, parents will receive an SMS on a gradual basis, on an incremental basis. That SMS will give you an option that your child is placed. In the event that your child is placed and you do not object to the placement, you don't have to do anything. But there may be an instance where a child is placed, but you remember you had 5 choices, but school 5 may place your learner, but not school 1. in terms of the number of schools to which you have applied. You might, in such a case, that's where you may want to log in and lodge an appeal, or until such time that, with a view that maybe school number one of choice may be offering you a place. It is in that context that we wanted to clarify. There's a matter that we also want to stress in respect of late applications. When the MEC was making a presentation, he spoke of the date of the 1st to the 15th of December. That date of the 1st to the 15th of December applies only to persons who have not submitted proof of residence. In the event that you had not submitted proof of residence and you have it, but now because we're dealing with placement, we will only be able to open up the system for you from the 1st to the 15th of December to upload the necessary required documentation or evidence of that proof of residence. It is only that time, during that time, from the 1st to the 15th. As it relates to late applications, we are currently dealing with those that have applied on time. We have not thought about those that are applying late because the system was open for a long time. But hopefully in the new year, we may consider, given what may be coming our way.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, are we done? Are we sorted? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much. That brings the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks. Studio.
Rosa.